chapter 4 hakan lo chiranga chuta chuan the SS that made trees bloom tinita a SS ti chu mei vap tinan maya trees chu kan che bloom chu parle tinan maya chu mem je chu thingkung te ti nung thar le thei mo ti par thar le thei mei vap tina ani ta ni chu chuanina thon thu khu kan cher thangal puranga video athui lo nan In the good old days of the daimyos, there lived an old couple whose only pet was a little dog. In the good old days, man like of the daimyos so kabukan pe 19th century Japan wealthy landowner so lai wealthy ti chu hausa tinan ma landowner so ram nei tu te hausa tak te ho lai zabi som pakona lai vel Japan lai vel chuan old couple no pa couple chu no pa upato tak mai hi anoma whose only pet was a little dog and pet and dan vul chun chu ui te hi ania. Having no children, they loved it as though it were a baby. Fa an nei lo awangin chu ui chu naute mishing naute ang main an mangaya. The old dame made it a cushion of blue crab. Old dame ti chu nu tinani mai dame ti chu nu pato tak pitar te chuan tinani chu cushion mo thil du blue crab ti chu savon lam chakhat ani And at mealtime, Muko, for that was its name, would sit on it as neck as any cat. Mealtime, so hun lai chon Muko, so amingan niya, tinani Muko an uite ming chu Muko, tinani chu, would sit on it as neck as any cat. So tete, anmunna dup taka anmu ang may hiyanin, Muko chu, so ilai chu na mu ve thina ni tinani mai muchungin so tinatapon yung chu. The kind people fed the pet with tidbits of fish from their own chopsticks and all the boiled rice it wanted. The kind people to me no pasoy na kan mai people ti chu mi pakat item sai nan ni kind chu ngil nei chu mi tengil nei tak chuan fed chu so pe the pet chu an ui kha an dan volaka tidbits chu noi ani maya of fish sangan noi te chun petina from their own chopsticks kan se chunga to ka chaklam Japan te Chinese te pon chau enan ten man thin mol te pahni ang chi kha khami mangai te khanin an rai thina ni an spoon mo an chei lai nge in an chopsticks po an tom tinani chu and all the boiled rice it wanted boiled rice it chuan rice to bu chum adu ang tok atam bu chum te chu an pethin ani. Thus treated, the dumb creature loved its protectors like a being with a soul. Thus treat to enkol chu tenga enkol ani wang chuan dam chu tong thei lo tinani mai ta chuan creature chu thil siam mo chu ramsa tong thei lo chuan loved its protectors chu veng him tu te ama nei tu te api te apu te tinani mai like a being with a soul ti chu ta poron pe ngen kha mishing ang mai tharau nei ve ang mai in mo amangai ve ani api la pu te chu. The old man, being a rice farmer, went daily with hoe or spade into the fields, working hard from morning until Tento Sama, as the sun is called, had gone down behind the hills. Putarachu, being a rice farmer ani wangin buching tu ani awangin, went daily knitting with hoe chu bong tu tho spade chu so door into the fields lower chon knitting so dura mo bong tu tho mo king na kalthina working hard from morning rim takan na tokin zinga tangin until Tento sama te chu Japanese tonga ni and cậu đã nên mày ta had gone down behind the hills so tang ni tlak thangin tinan mai tlang phena ni atlak thangin na athok thina zinga tangin mo. Every day the dog followed him to walk, never once harming the white heron that walked in the footsteps of the old man to pick up the worms. Với khát mà awi chuan ni tin hianin azui vetina tuta chuan heron savati khat mo tui a cheng chiang deuh chi hi savalian pui hi heron an omam zo tong hen tong ahming hi kan nei che lo an mai thei chung te chuan putara chu anon zui vetina ni a ui po chuan in atin na ngai lewa chung savate po chu ang van ngen zui kan ti chuan to pick up the worms mo putar pa khanin kalpa khanin ngeni ra worms thil lung vel tho te kha an chui tho vel kha an ron zong ve thina ni nim apal enga khanin an ron zui ve thina ni. For the old fellow was patient and kind to everything that had life and often turned up a sword on purpose to give food to the birds. Chu putara chu patient do thei mo old fellow chu putar tin han mai patient do thei kind nil nei to everything that had life nun nei to phot chunga chonin ado thein anil nei maya and often turned up often to fall chin tinan turned up ti chu eta poran pe kan le khabu khan duck up sort ti chu nim pool pai tual nim ang chi te po kha on purpose ti chu tum lui nim te kha ngen alai put lui china ni to give food to the birds savate tana chopeturin amja chu nim zungkar vela sava alungte ngen ran nung chang chang lo amte ka savaten anlo tan khan alai put sak thin tinani chu. One day the dog came running to him, putting his paws against his legs and motioning with his head to some spot behind. Nikhat chu ui chu anen aton ron tlan phei chang maya came running on tlan phei, putting his paws kan ti chu ui te zo te an ke hi an mai against his legs akea chuan abopa chuan ui chuan a ke ron hatin motioning with his head je chu alu in zaizirin a hil to some spot behind anung lama spot chu mun khoilai mani hi zaizirin alu chuan ngen a zaizir a saphei zau te poning chu. The old man at first thought his pet was only playing and did not mind it. Old man chuan atira chuan thought emoti mo a pet chu ein fiam mai emotia and did not mind it alongai poi mo lu tukulova. But the dog kept on whining and running to and fro for some minutes. Kept on ti chu ti zel chun zom zel ma se ui chuanin whining ti chu che chik vela kha chik deuh ngen kha ui te chu an chik deuh ngen thina tru and running to and fro ti chu tan ma tan le tan ton sek ang ka to and fro chu na mai engmo 10 minute engmo za chu tenga chik ngur pa atlan chuan atlan ton chen maya. Then the old man followed the dog a few yards to a place where the animal began a lively scratching. Chuan atopa chuan putar chuanin ui chu a follow ta a zui ta a few yards ngen ya tlem te pen tlem te a chuan an zui nu chuan animal ui khanin began lively scratching lively ti chu phur takin scratching ti chu high tinan mai le chu phur takin high ta a. Thinking it was possibly a buried bone or a bit of fish, the old man struck his hoe in the ground when lo, a pile of gold gleamed before him. Thinking it was possibly a buried bone, he buried it and thinking be ti tuni buried ti tuni chu mi lai chuan nge niang bon chu saru emo sangathem bit of fish and chuan sangathem hangi fish ti lo to ro fish ti to rani sangathem emo saru emo mai ani ringin mo thinking it was possibly buried to in poom saru in poom emo nge niang sangathem emo mai ani ringin the old man struck his hoe in the earth putar chuan struck chu nge niang vua emo eta chuan chek ani chu tro a bong thu tho chu hoi bong thu tho kan ti kho le a chuan han cheka when lo a pile of gold gleamed before him le chu vele chuan ama a chuan mo before him ama a chuan pile of gold rangkachak nge niang hlom rangkachak pile chu vum de thu ra hi ni gleam ti chu ran ke sur mai ni ama chuan rangkachak chu alai chu ka ran ke ta sur mai ni. Thus, in an hour, the old couple were made rich. Chuan darkar khatte chunglek main pitale putartanu pa chu were made rich and lo hausat maya were katik over tilo turkantin ka. The good souls bought a piece of land, made a feast for their friends, and gave plentifully to their poor neighbors. The good souls at the soul it harau emonung chang te pon ni thanju ta chuan the good soul sa ti chuan putar te no pa kha asoina ni putar te no pa chuan bought a piece of land ram and leia bought le and leia made a feast for their friends feast ruai and chetan ruai and saka and gave plentifully to their poor neighbors poor the neighbors khanam and thanam the te na chuan nasa takin an til ne chu an semve ani. As for the dog, they petted him till they nearly smothered him with kindness. We too, they petted him more and what memaya till they nearly smothered him with kindness. Smothered he vam tina lampang ni ya me vam te smother antia smothered him with kindness amzia chu an do lu to ka wangin akang lo chu ni atina nia chum amzia chuan an do em asoi warna khani mai an do over ani chu to na tong tak phe chuan. Now in the same village there lived a wicked old man and his wife. An khua a chuan chumi khua ve ka chuan same ngai village ti lo tur kan ti kha village kan ti kha wicked chu phakar emo sual emo ko ti na te pon theya old man and his wife anu puin le putale anu puin no cheng ve ya not a bit sensitive and kind not a bit claim te po ni lovin sensitive and kind ti chu ngil nei mo khongai na nei ve ti na khan mai khongai na le ngil nei na chete man nei lova who had always kicked and scolded old dogs whenever any passed their house. Kick, pet, scold, how old dogs. We zong chu and in lama anong kalapiang chuan pass their house. Whenever any pass their house. And in anong kalapiang chuan we zong ma hi an lo petin an lo how thin ani. Hearing of their neighbors' good luck, they coaxed the dog into their garden and set before him bits of fish and other dainties. Hearing sia an thenam te vanina te chu an lo set ve chuan cox ti chu them ui chu an lo thema an huana into their garden and set before him bits of fish ama chuanin sanga noite le other dainties till to dainties chu ta ama tasty food to tu tak te ne lo thema hoping he would find treasure for them. Treasure ti chu ro lu find chu mu hoping be say antan ro lu te amu sak ve be sein ui chu an lo thlem ve ni. But the dog, being afraid of the cruel pair, would neither eat nor move. Ma se ui chu being afraid of the cruel pair chu thil pan in kop nu pa tinani mai ta chuan cruelty chu nun wrong chu mi te nun afraid lau chu mi te nu pa nun wrong tak mai a hlawa wang chuan a ei du lova kalpo kal du lova ni ei du lo ei du lo bok kal du lo bok move chu che ti a chon kal ti mai kha a thu ne nan dem zo kan tro. Then they dragged him out of doors, taking a spade and hoe with them. Then they drag to no pot out of doors. Kong ka tang chuan pot chua kan nuk chua ka, taking a spade and hoe with them. Spade le hoe nen chuan angkal ta a spade chu nge kan ti kha so dur ho bong thu lo. No sooner had the dog got near a pine tree growing in the garden than he began to paw and scratch the ground as if a mighty treasure lay beneath. No sooner had the dog got near a pine tree. Pine kan ti chu angen yang far lam thing chakhat ang khan an bul an thlen vele chuan an gardener chu tiang thingkung lo to bulan thlen vele chuan then he began tran paw ti chu akota hai khan mai paw and scratch chu hai ti nan mai the ground le chu a hai ta su maya as if ang main ti nan ang main a mighty chak ti nan ya ma so heta amai ro chu heta chuan tam emo ro pui emo so nan treasure ro lu le beneath nuai a noya chuan ro thu tak mai a mai mang hian a hai ta su mai ni ui chuanin. Quick, wife, hand me the spade and hoe. Nui rang takin hand me min pero hand me give me tin nan tluk thau ani bong thu thau le so dur khaminam pevat ro nui atia cried the greedy old fool as he danced with joy. Poor to ani chu putara chu dance with joy lim loma wanga lam de so pain pu takin nui khomo bong thu thau le so dur khaminam pevat vatte atini. Then the covetous old fellow with a spade and the old crone with a hoe began to dig. The covetous old fellow, covetous itu eta po zemin pia greedy mo itu mo mithin le thik ching putara le chuan with a spade akenga and the old crone ti chu pitar so nani musit deuh ngi deuh pitar mel chia senan deuh an mang thi nani pitar ngi tak chu te mang with the hoe bong thu tho nen began to dig to lie phur tak mai nan lai ta su men nu pa chuan. But there was nothing but a dead kitten, the smell of which made them drop their tools and shut their noses. Ma se eng ma lova but a dead kitten. That kitten ti chu zote no te mai lo chu eng ma thil dang lo lova the smell of which made them drop their tools. Smell rim chu rim chuan an hle ma ya drop awang chuan an tools an man do te chu an thawa and shut their noses nar shut khar an nar te chun khara kan tanga lo tro mi zo tong chuan an nar te an hup chon mai ni rim se awang kan. Furious at the dog, the old man kicked and beat him to death. Furious thindim at the dog. Ui chunga thindim wang chuan putara chuan apeta and beat him to death. Avolum ta mo. And the old woman finished the work by nearly chopping off his head with the sharp hoe. So mai chuna du lava pitari chuanin. Sharp chu siam hoe chu bong thu tho mo. Bong thu tho siam tak mai chuanin nearly to trap chopping chu tan alu tan mok trap kopin mo bong thu tho siam chuanin an chek zui le ni pitari chuanin. They then flung him into the hole. Flung he fling pasen sania chu vor emo the emo inani maya chuan hole chu kwa mo anle lai khor kwa chuan and chu an vomlu ta and heap the earth over his carcass. Heap chu chungvum da vum lei chu lei over his carcass. Carcass itu saruang hi carcass anti train. Oh, ram saruang hi carcass. Chuan an akhwara chuan an pailuta leinan chille ngalta tinan chu. The owner of the dog heard of the death of his pet. Owner chu nei tu of the dog and chuan nei awi nei tu chuan heard lo chia that thi chungchang of his pet. A pet aran vul thi chungchang chu alo se ve ta a alo se chuan mourning him for him as if he had been his own child. Mourning to soon. Oh, mourning for him ti chu ama soonin as if ang main kan ti to ka. Oh, he had been his own child afa. Ama fa ngei ni o mang main child chu fa ni o no pang ti na pon ya ta chuan fa ti na ni ni o mang main na sa ta na suna went at night under the pine tree. Zana chuan asun alusun som til tu chu pine tree no ta chuan zana avakal ane. He set up some bamboo tubes in the ground such as are used before tombs, in which he put fresh flowers. Chumia chuan bamboo mau tubes mau tlon te chu avapuna leya chuan thana anti angin mo thana such as are used before tombs. Mo tombs chu than mo than sorry than lung anda ma anti an hung danangin mau in ka hung tinan chu, in which he put fresh flowers chu ta chuanin pangparte avada ani mising thanang tak takin avachei bol tina ani chu. Then he laid a cup of water and a tray of food on the grave and burned several costly sticks of incense. Chuan tui no khat le te ada chuan a tray of food on the grave. Than chuan a tu thleng te ada burn several costly chu tau oh stick of incense te chu tengla chuan halrim tui agarbati kan han teng chi ta po hining chu ka teng hal khuk chem thei chi mo rim tui ang chi kha burn chu hal costly chu tau tak te ava hal ani Japan ho in vudan ang ani chu mithngain anin than te an ti dan angin. He mourned a great while over his pet, calling him many dear names as if he were alive. He mourned a great while, and it's one while to hun. Oh, great while, and it's one hundre tak chung. Oh, aran vul chu hundre tak chung suna, calling him many dear names. Ming dear names ti chu kau duat na te pon man so in ako tinani as if he were alive. Ala tam ang mai hian ako tinani am tito tapo mising tapon kan lam thin mitro nung khati ang do khan asun ve tinani chu. That night the spirit of the dog appeared to him in his dream and said, "Cut down the pine tree over my grave and make from it a mortar for your rice pastry and a mill for your bean sauce." Chumizan chuan the spirit tharau of the dog mot we tharau chu appeared lo lang to him aman hena lo langa in a dream mumang chuan aron langa mumang aron lara. Cut down the pine tree kha over my grave mo ka than chunga grave chu than ka than chunga pine tree kha lo kitla and make from it to the tang chuan a mortar for your rice pastry. Mo rice pastry chu chang zo tong chuan ka changban kan tin hen an ang do bermel oh isiam na turin hi thilden somna hi ania mortar kan ti hi zo tong chuan sum kan tin hen an ang do ber ome chumi thing chuanin ibu den na tur mo ibu banden na tur sum lo siam la and a mill for your bean sauce. Mill ti chu thil her som na oh bean sauce bean chu kan chianga sauce chu tui oh bean tui ilo her som na tur ilo siam na tur chumi thing mang chuan lo siam mang che aron te ane amuma khan. So the old man chopped down the tree and cut out of the middle of the trunk a section about 2 feet long. chuan putar chuan in chop down ti chu kit ina ni chop chu tan chum tina ta pon ni anga thing chu akit ta and cut out la chuak tan bung middle of the trunk chu thing hemi thing kunga akung lian bera hi akung bera kha trunk kani trunk ka lai trunk chuan middle chu lai kan ti kha fit ni vela sei hi ala chuak ta with great labor, partly by fire, partly by the chisel, he scraped out a hollow place as big as a small bowl. With great labor to thorim na thorim takin tinan mai great chu na sa ro pui partly by fire athen chu meite partly chu vai ni lo athen khat mei mangte partly by chisel te chu ngang thier khen kan tiang chi te mangin he scrape out chu ziat tha scrape chu ziat tha hollow place hollow chu khuar as big as a small bowl as big as chu angalian ang tiat small bowl tiat line kwa akher khuar ta ni sum tur kha he then made a long handle hammer of wood such as is used for pounding rice. He then made a long-handled hammer of wood. Long-handled atichu avon na sei tak a handle sei tak nei hammer of wood. Hammer chu kan che tu bawa siam thinga siam tu baw. Such as is used. Such as is so angin tinan mo ang chi kha. Used for pounding rice, pounding ti chu deng som bu den som na ta na antman ang chi kha asiam ta ina na mai kho sakala ma chuan suk kan ti kha mizo suk ang nilavin tu bo ang shape dewin an siam thin ani chumi ang chuan asuka kha asiam tinan ni chu when New Year's time drew near he wished to make some rice pastry kumalo thardon chuan mo junior lo nai local nai kumthar lo nai chuan mo mizo te ang bokin Christmas vel line changban lo chak ve ni he wished to make some rice pastry changban siam adu ta wish to do rice pastry chuan se to kha botang atang siam changban ang chi kha when the rice was all boiled Granny put it into the mortar bu ta chu anan chum nu chuan mo boil chu chum Granny pi sena na pitar te chuanin mortar suma chuanin ahan da ta the old man lifted his hammer to pound the mass into dough putar chuanin lifted kang his hammer to bow ni sin kan sei suk ang chi kha to pound chu deng som the mass ti chu thil vu ma kha ni mai bu achun vu maka into do ti chu changphut the hi alam dan chu do ti lam turani eta g h hi lamrik tel turani and the blows fell heavy and fast till the pastry was all ready for baking the blow ati chu avua ka khani mai adena kha fell ta heavy and fast na takin rang takinan deng soka till the pastry was all ready for baking bake ur thai tura mo pastry ur thai ani ma jong chu thai top chu enna takin rang takin handeng sok tinan mai suddenly the whole mass turned into a heap of gold coins thole khata chuan the whole mass chu pum pui mass chu thil vum khom kha turned into in thak heap chu thil chun vum da vum kha hapan kan sei to kha of gold coins vum thur mai aron changle ta thut mai ni gold kan thia rang ka chak coins su paisa thi rang chi kha rang ka chaka a chang zong kha rang ka chaka ron changle ta thut mai ni chu when the old woman took the hand mill and filling it with beans began to grind the gold dropped like rain chuan pitar te chuan hand mill ama thil herna thil her somna kuta her somna tinani mai kuta her chi tinani kho hand mill ni chuan and filling it with beans fill ti chu chung khat filling it and chuan with beans bean chung khata and began to grind to her an her tan chuan bean chu an her tan tia chuan the gold dropped like rain rang ka chak chu ro ang main aron thathapuk phuk mai ni. Meanwhile, the envious neighbor peeped in at the window when the boiled beans were being ground. Chuti lai chuan meanwhile the envious neighbor envious mi thik ching mi dang thik reng chi kha thenam mi thik ching tak te chuan peep bi tha bi dek in at the window to wetan lo bi dek when the boiled beans were being grind he ta grind amatero khami past tense ka ground past participle ground nani bean chum to te an her lai chuan being ground ani chuan her lai tin ani mai an her lai chu an lo bi tharu dek ani an thinam te khan phakar deuh te khan gurimi, cried the old hag as she saw each dripping of sauce turning into yellow gold. Mo van ro pui ve van mak ve tin ani mai gurimi amak til tuk tong chuana ani mai old hag chu pitar soina bokani pitar top deuh che deuh soina as he saw each dripping to far of sauce atuiron far tha turning into yellow gold enga aron thak zel mu chuan atre chok hlut mai ni. Until in a few minutes the tub under the mill was full of shining mass of gold. Until malo chuan in a few minutes reido te the tub chotol under the mill anlo do na chotol chu full of shining mass of gold. Shining tle mo eng gold ta aron eng sur in a khatta muk mai ni chu an chotol chu reido te chungin. So the old couple were rich again. Chuan couple nupa upa to tak chu an lo house le ta The next day the stingy and wicked neighbor came and borrowed the mortar and magic mill. The next day atuka chuan stingy wikom and wicked phakar tamang hita chuan neighbor te chu anong kala and borrowed ho sum le magic mill magic mill aherna te chu anon ho sakve ani. They filled one with boiled rice and the other with beans. Filled da khat chung khat kan ti kha pakhat chu boiled rice in da khata sum zo khanin chu tro chuan pakhat le chu bean in anti khat ve thunga. Then the old man began to pound and the woman to grind. Chuan putar zok chuanin han deng tan ta pound deng chuan pitari chuanin han herve tan ta buka grind her. But at the first blow and turn, the pastry and sauce turned into a full mass of worms. Ama ero chu an den masak ber le an her masak ber first blow and turn. At chuan pastry chu chang chu le sauce chu turned into a full mass of worm. Thil lung noi rim che tak maya foul mass of worm chuan lung rim chia tenam tak mai tinan chu chuan achang ta vek thungani. Still more angry at this, they chopped the mill into pieces to use as firewood. Still more angry at this, until chu arim le ta maya they chopped the mill into pieces. Mill chu til herna chu chop chu tan into pieces noi te an chanta to use as firewood. Thing fa ka tan man turin an chan noi ta vek mai ni kha part 1 chin chu an ta tung video tan chuan kan du to nga ta khan phe le lama khan comprehension check ma kham answer ho kha video to pa hian kan karon da le ton lo copy le turani ang chuan video dot le part 2 a thon thu kha kan share sun zom le don nia.